Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be showing you what's on my iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And then just stick to the end to find out if I would recommend getting the iPad Pro 12.9. Also if I'm interested in getting the 2020 version, because this is a 2018 version. Let's just dive in. Let me start screen recording. I unlocked the iPad, we're in the home screen, and the background is another picture of me and my husband on our wedding day. Before I forget, I did do a what's on my iPhone a few months ago. Definitely check that out. I will have it linked below in the description box so you can check it out. The first icon is obviously the calendar. It's April 8th, Wednesday. Photos is the next app. I have few pictures. I have about 661 pictures on my iPad. Not much, not many compared to the amount of pictures I have on my iPhone. So the next thing is the camera, and I'll have to be honest, I can't remember the last time if I ever used the iPhone camera. It's not a bad camera. It's very comparable to the iPhone X camera. The new iPad Pro definitely has a better camera compared to this 2018 version. However, I don't walk around with this big ass tablet to take pictures. That's just not what I want the iPad for. So I don't really care about it. You can shoot video on it. You can do it basically whatever you want with the camera. The next little folder I have is just a utilities folder, and this is where I basically keep the apps that I don't really use as often. And the next thing I have is the notes app. I use that a lot. The next one is obviously just news. Trying to stay away from the news apps as much as possible nowadays. The next app is the iTunes Store. We all know how the iTunes Store looks like. And then same thing, the next one is App Store. It's like, oh my god, there's Scrabble. Maybe I'll download that. Pause. I have the podcast app on my iPad. The two main podcasts that I listen to, which are right on my screen as I open it up, is the Gretchen Garrity Happy Hour, and then the next one is Tori DeSimone Manifest. Absolutely love these podcasts. Highly recommend if you're looking for some inspiration, especially when there's nothing else to do in the house. Listen to a podcast, you're going to feel so positive and so motivated to do your homework or to get some work done. The next app is Instagram. I freaking love Instagram. Definitely follow me below if you're not following me already. The only annoying thing with the Instagram app on the iPad is that there's no official iPad Instagram app, so the iPhone version is on the iPad, which is why it seems smaller on the screen, but you can always expand it. The next app is Netflix. Can't live without Netflix. Absolutely love Netflix. If you have any movies, let me know because I need recommendations. The next app is YouTube. Obsessed with YouTube. The next app is Hulu. I watch a lot of Hulu for like the old classical shows like 24, there's Full House, there's Reba, which I used to love watching Reba, and I actually just finished rewatching the whole show. Highly recommend if you want a good laugh. Disney Plus, shout out to my best friend for letting me use his account. Love Disney Plus. All the classic Disney shows are on here. You can't go wrong. I was watching Proud Family, as you can see. Absolutely freaking love it. And then the next one is Prime Video. I use Prime Video a lot too. There are so many good hidden gem movies on here. If you're bored and you need new movies, definitely go on Prime Video because there's some good ones there. Then I have Google Chrome, just download it because sometimes Safari doesn't do what I need it to do. So I have Google Chrome on here. And then I also have Pinterest. Absolutely love Pinterest. Can't go wrong with Pinterest. I love the Pinterest app on the iPad. It's just so flawless. Freaking love it. I'm always on Pinterest. Follow me on that one if you haven't followed me already. And it's just Girly Vegan Blog. And then I have Amazon Music on here as well. I don't have the paid version of Amazon Music. As you can see, I don't have the unlimited version. I just have the regular version that comes in the regular Amazon Prime package. Beyonce's Lemonade album is on here, and I don't have to pay extra for it, and that just gets you in the mood. So let me see. Whole albums. That's basically all you need on Amazon Prime. But if you want to pay the extra, I think it's like $3.99 or something, go ahead. I just don't feel the need to. So in summary, the first screen that I have on my iPad is with all the essential apps, which is why I don't have like folders aside from the utilities folder on the first page. If you watch my what's on my iPhone video, you would have noticed that I had tons of folders versus on my iPad I don't have as many. So moving on to the second page, the first folder is just named folder, and it's tips, shortcuts, GarageBand, Apple Store, clips, and Find My iPhone. Don't really use those apps, but they're there. Productivity is the next folder, and so out of these apps, I highly recommend for you to have numbers and pages on your iPad, especially if you're in school. I think that's a great way to limit the amount of paper you use, especially for pages. You can take your notes right in that app. Numbers is a good one if you are looking to use Excel and you need to do spreadsheets. I highly recommend that one for that. And I would say Keynote is basically Apple's version of Microsoft PowerPoint. Highly recommend to have those 3 apps on your iPad if you are a college student, because it's going to limit you having to carry a heavy laptop, and especially when you use pages, you don't really have to use paper notebooks. It limits the amount of paper that you waste or that you use. So iMovie, I have it on my iPad. I don't really use it. It's not as seamless and as user-friendly as the iMovie app on your MacBook or on my MacBook, so I don't really use it. But if you want to, I guess you can use it. The basics are there, but I feel like you can do a lot more with the MacBook version of iMovie. Next one is LinkedIn. Highly recommend to have LinkedIn on your iPad if you are a professional and are looking for a job. It's a great way to network and kind of market yourself out to recruiters out there. This is coming from a former recruiter. The next app is Color Therapy. Don't use this app as much. I downloaded it last year because I was going through a very stressful time. As you can see, I did that. The only thing that I don't like about this app is that you can't like actually color. Like, let me show you guys. So if I do want to color, it does it like that. So it's not like an actual color book where you have to continuously go like that. It's just you press it, you tap it, and then the color just fills the area. It is a good app to have if you're extremely bored or if you have anxiety. This is a great coping skill to kind of take your mind off things and focus on the drawing in front of you. But other than that, there are probably better paid apps for coloring. I'm just cheap, so I use the free version. Moving on to food shopping, I have Prime Now, which again is included in my Prime membership, and I just order from Whole Foods. I have Instacart. Don't really use Instacart as much because I do order from Whole Foods. There are a lot more vegan options on there. And then Notes Writer is a great app if you're taking notes. I use it all the time. Love it because you can write right on the iPad, and I just like how seamless it is. As you can tell, that's really bad. Just a great app to use your Apple Pencil and write down things that you need to take notes or anything like that. Again, it minimizes the use of paper. The next folder is finance. I have all of my finance apps here, obviously, and I use all of them all the time. Highly recommend Credit Karma to keep track of your credit because that's very important. Next folder that I have is the dining folder, and I have Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. To be honest, I don't really use those on my iPad compared to how much I use them on my iPhone, just because if I'm ordering food, I'm probably ordering it from my iPhone. The next folder I have is the YouTube channel folder, and that's where I keep all of the things that pertain to my YouTube channels. Next folder I have is the photo and video app, and I basically have a design kit, which is extremely helpful to create thumbnails. If you are a YouTube content creator, really great. If you want a video on how I create my thumbnails, let me know below. Snapseed is a great editing tool. Don't use it as much. Punky is another great app to create thumbnails. I use PicMonkey a lot on my phone. You can see I'm not even logged in on my iPad. I don't know why I use it more on my phone. I think it's just because I can do thumbnails on the go, so I like to use it a lot more on my iPhone for when I don't feel like carrying my huge iPad outside. Darkroom, Color Tone. It's another great editing app. I use Color Tone to edit all of my Instagram pictures. I just changed like the color scheme. I don't really do like Facetune or anything like that. Hey, if you do that, good for you. Do whatever makes you happy. I just don't. I just like to change the color of the photos just slightly so everything on my feed looks like it was taken on the same day. The next one is Lightroom. Lightroom, I downloaded it and I had like a free subscription to it. It's still on here. I don't use it. I should probably delete it. Lightroom confuses the living hell out of me. I could not figure out how to use it, so I don't use it anymore. Line Upper is another great editing tool, but I don't really use that as much. Canva is a great app for absolutely any picture you want to edit. I'm not logged in right now. I don't know why I'm not logged in, but again, it's great for thumbnails. It's great to create Pinterest pins. It's great for Instagram. It's just great all around. Even if you're not a content creator and you just like to work with graphics and edit photos, download it because it's really good. And the free version is just amazing. I have the Canon app just to connect my camera to it so I can transfer photos that I take on my Canon G7X. I can easily just transfer it over Wi-Fi to my iPad. And the next folder is the travel folder. Hotel Tonight, again, I think I talked about this in my what's on my iPhone video. It's a great app to find cheap hotels for the nights. You can do it a few weeks in advance, actually a few months apparently. You can find great deals on expensive ass hotels, so definitely highly recommend that. Skyscanner is another great app to find cheap flights. What I love most about this app is that, let's say I'm going on a trip like in August, I can go on the app right now, find the cheapest destination or the month of August, or if I do have an idea of where I want to go, let's say I want to go to Puerto Rico, I can go on the Skyscanner app and literally choose cheapest month, and it will tell me exactly the cheapest month to travel to Puerto Rico and what day I should travel to Puerto Rico to get that really sweet deal. Hopper is another great app. The only problem with this is that it's not an iPad version, so you'll just be using the iPhone version on the iPad. But it's a great app to get sure that you're not overpaying for a flight. So if you, let's say you want to go to Puerto Rico in August, it'll tell you exactly when to book that flight to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. So highly recommend those apps. They have saved me a lot of money. The next few apps that I have are basically shopping on this page. The next thing that I have is a little game, which is Dash Adventures. I freaking loved Diner Dash growing up. I had the computer version of Diner Dash, and let me turn this down. We spent hours playing Diner Dash, and I recently came across this in the App Store, and I was like, I need to download it. I love this game. It's freaking great. So highly recommend if you're bored, download Diner Dash. And then the next app that I have is Arrive, which is a great app to keep track of all your orders in one place. That way you can see everything. As you guys can see, I have an order coming in from PacSun. It will arrive on Saturday. If you order from multiple stores or from multiple email addresses, you can just have it all in one place, which I like the ease of that. The next window, I have Zillow because I am looking for apartments right now, and I love this app to look for apartments or even houses just in case. As you guys can see, I have Puerto Rico opened up on the Zillow app, just looking to see what's available. And I have TikTok. I'm a little ashamed that I have this app, but I really do love TikTok. This quarantine has made me appreciate TikTok a lot more. For me, growing up, I had Vine, so that to me is very similar to what TikTok is for Generation Z, I think. And I just downloaded Scrabble, which I don't know how that is, but I'll let you guys know in the comments below if it's worth the download, because I'm definitely going to check that out. So now, what you've been waiting for. Do I recommend the iPad Pro? I highly recommend the iPad Pro just because it's a beautiful piece of art. I love how seamless it is. I love that there are so many more apps on the iPad or for the iPad compared to when the iPad first came out, or even by like the third iPad. There still weren't many iPad apps. A lot of them were still iPhone based. but I really do recommend, especially if you are a college student, this would be great. I wish I had the iPad Pro when I was in college, because I wouldn't have had to carry it around my MacBook, which gets heavy when you have your MacBook and then you have your actual textbooks. I do recommend to invest in the Apple Pencil if you are planning to take notes on the iPad. Apple did release a really cool keyboard that you can use to take notes. That's more expensive than the pencil, and if you're like me, I really do like the old feel of writing notes. It's like old school meets new school, so highly recommend. Will I be getting the new iPad that came out probably a few weeks ago? I don't think so, only because this iPad, although it came out in 2018, I actually didn't get it until 2019. It's only a year old and it works perfectly fine for what I need it to work. And for me, the biggest upgrade from this to the new iPad, I'm sure it goes quicker. Apple always says that their new products goes a lot quicker than their former products, but for my needs, the only thing that would make me even want to get the new iPad would probably be the camera. And again, I don't use the camera on my iPad as it is, so I'm not going to dish out another $1,100 just for a camera when I do have the iPhone Pro. For now, I'm happy with this one and I won't be upgrading. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you would like to see other videos like this, definitely let me know in the comments below. Make sure you check out what's on my iPhone. I'll have that linked below and linked above so you guys can check that out. And don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!